Welcome all. This is a presentation by LMCW2152 SET53 Group 1. The Siemens Corruption Scandal. Lessons in the Integrities and Anti-Corruptions. Let me introduce my team members: Chen Shengyu, Fu Zhuohan, Zhang Qiming, Zhang Xingyuan, Wang Shihao, Ye Jiayi, and myself. Now let's dive into the topic. First, a quick overview of the scandal. Between 1999 and 2006, the Siemens AG, a German multinational giant, was involved in one of the largest corporate bribery cases in modern history. The company paid over 1.3 billion in bribery across more than 20 countries to secure government contracts. Our presentation aims to analyze the root causes, consequences, and reforms Siemens implemented, as well as the key lessons for integrity and anti-corruption globally.
Let's start with the big picture. Siemens is a miniature-based multinational operating in energy, transport, and telecommunications, playing a key role in global infrastructure. But between 1999 and 2006, the company used over 100 separate bank accounts to pay BBS, discussed as consulting fees. In 2006, German officers raided its headquarters, exposing the scandal. By 2008, Siemens settled with US and German officers for a record 1.6 billion fine. Now, let's look at the first country-specific case, Greece. In Greece, Siemens and its local subsidiary paid around 100 million in barrels to politicians and officials at the state telecom company LTE. The goal to secret contracts linked to the 2006 Athens Olympics, plus telecom and security projects. Key parties involved include members of Greece's two major political parties. In 2008, the CEO of Siemens has fled to Germany to avoid prosecution, and by 2012, Siemens paid 270 million to settle the case with Greece.
Moving to Argentina, Siemens traded a US $1 billion contract to develop national ID cards. To win it, the company paid over US $100 million in briberies to officials across three presidential administrations. Even after the contract was cancelled, Siemens continued bribeing officials to recover funds, a fact exposed in a 2008 US investigation. In 2011, 8 Siemens executives were charged under the U.S. Foreign Corrupt Practice Artists, and this case was part of the company's U.S. $800 million global fine. Moving to Bangladesh. Now, Bangladesh Siemens focused on the telecom and power sectors, paying over US $5 billion in briberies to officials at the Bangladesh Telegraph and Telephone Board and the Government Power Division. These payments were hidden through fixed consultants, like the other case. This was included in the 2008 FCPA charts, and Siemens later reformed this local policy to prevent repeat misconduct.
So why did this massive scandal happen? There are 6 key factors. So first, Siemens' culture prioritized profit over access. Bribery was seen as a necessary way to compete. Second, weak internal controls allow 100+ secret accounts to operate unchecked. Third, its decentralized structure gave regional managers too much power without oversight. Fourth, intense global competition pushed the company to cut corners. Fifth, leadership failed to enforce access. Executive actively approved bribes. Finally, frequent global regulation made it easier to get away with cross-border misconduct. So this chapter highlights international anti-corruption enforcement issue legal violations such as bribery and fearless record under US, German, and local laws. Corresponding punishment include 1.6 billion euro in fines. Guilty pleas from subsidiary and prosecution of executives. The image emphasized global accountability and the serious consequence of corporate misconduct, reinforcing the importance of ethical government and legal compliance across borders.
Implications. The scandal hit individuals, Siemens, and affected cultures hard. For individuals, corrupt public officials faced changes and imprisonment, while Siemens executives were freed, rescind or fled prosecution. For Siemens, its country-old reputation was shattered. It lost balance in funds and reforms and missed out on high-value countries. For countries, great public trust in government eroded. Argentina wasted taxpayer funds and Bangladesh's infrastructure development was depleted. Anti-corruption reform measures. Siemens implemented net key reforms to rebuild integrity. It launched a global compliance system with an independent chief compliance officer, strengthened internal audits with due authorization for transitions, and hired an external monitor to report to authority. It also tied employee bonuses to compliance, not just profits. Trained over 200,000 staff on each set up a protected established platform called Tell Us. Invested 100 million in an integrated initiative with NGOs and universities and collaborated with international anti-corruption agents like PASI. These reforms turned Siemens into a compliance benchmark.
From this scandal, we draw 8 critical lessons. First, integrity must be part of corporate culture, not just a written policy. Second, decentralization needs balanced oversight to prevent abuse. Third, leadership sets the tone. Executives must model ethical behavior. Fourth, cross-border collaboration is vital to fight global corruption. Fifth, protected whistleblowing stops small misconduct from becoming systems. Six, cultural change takes time and persistence. It can't be done overnight. Seventh, external partnerships strengthen anti-corruption efforts. 8. Individual ethics complement rules. No policy replaces personal integrity. These lessons boil down to 3 core insights. First, institutional flaws, weak laws, and poor oversight enable systematic corruption. Second, productive crisis response, cooperating with investigations and implementing real reforms, driven redemption. Third, compliance is an investment, not a cost. For Siemens, the billions spent on fines and reforms were far less damaging than losing trust and contracts.
To summarize, the Siemens scandal was a wake-up call for multinational corporations and policymakers. It showed that even reputable companies can fall prey to corruption if culture, oversight, and leadership fail. But it also proved that redemption is possible through systemic reforms, culture transformation, and a commitment to integrity. Siemens went from a symbol of corporate misconduct to a global leader in anti-corruption, proving that integrity is the foundation of sustainable business success.
This brings us to the end of our presentation. We hope these insights into the Siemens corruption scandal have shed light on the importance of integrity and anti-corruption in global business. If you have any questions or want to discuss specific points further, please feel free to ask. Thank you all for listening.